Hey mamas, welcome to my Homeschool Mom Confessions 2019. I hope you grab something to sip on and stick around for a while I share all of my guts. All right guys, so this is another open collaboration video. Any homeschooling mom can do this video. There is a playlist of so many moms who have done this video in the past, and I'm going to go ahead and link that video in the description box down below. Now, I was contacted by Christine Branner. She mentioned she was doing this and thought it would be an awesome idea for some of us other homeschool moms as well to hop on that wagon. This originally was started by Mommy and Mia Homeschool. I will also link her channel or stick a card here up above so you can go check out the whole playlist of all the moms who have jumped on this board and kind of shared some different sides to our homeschool that maybe you don't always see on here. So with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get straight to it. There are 10 questions. This is supposed to be, if I believe right and if I read correctly, under 10 minutes. So I haven't really put myself on a time restriction before, so this could be kind of interesting because I do like to talk, but I do talk kind of fast. So maybe we can handle it. I'm gonna go ahead and just get to it. So first question, how many kids do I have and their ages? I have 3 boys. My oldest, Aiden, is 11. Then he will be going into 6th grade. My middle child, Cooper, he is 9 and he will be going into 4th grade. And then Brantley, my youngest, is 6 and he will be going into 1st grade. So yes, boy mom, all the way. I am totally outnumbered. That's okay. I wouldn't have it any other way. Question number 2, our homeschool schedule or routine. Do we homeschool regularly? Do we homeschool year round? Do we follow a public school, traditional schedule? The answer to that is, in the past, I've tried to follow a public school schedule. I have tried to kind of mirror that image because we are the only members of our family and extended family who homeschool. So it is nice when everyone else takes a break to kind of link that up and be in sync that way. So to answer this question, I have in the past followed a traditional public school schedule. I am looking at changing things up for this coming school year. I will definitely give you more information on that as I fine tune all of my details and how I'm gonna play it out. So be sure and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. There's all kinds of changes and fun things happening, and that's me. I'm always changing it up. So it may look different for this coming year for us, but traditionally, or in the past, I have followed a standard public school schedule for the most part. There are some days that they take off that we don't. Teacher in service days, we don't take those off unless I say it's a teacher in service day. That's the joy of being the teacher, right? We get to create our own schedules, and I love that. I love that freedom in homeschooling for so many reasons. We also, in September, when most of the public schools are just going back, we are a hunting family. So my husband takes a week off. We go archery hunting. The whole family goes. We go stay at the cabin. We take that whole week off. That is a wonderful blessing as far as homeschooling. My boys are getting to learn so much more than they would if they were sitting in a classroom at a public school building. So I love having that freedom to be able to go with my husband for a week, 10 days up to the cabin and hunt, and they get to learn all about so many things that they wouldn't be learning otherwise. That would probably be one of the hardest things is come hunting season for us. My husband's a hunter, I'm a hunter. Our youngest killed his first animal last year, and that's what we live off of. We live solely off of the animals that we kill. We don't buy beef in store. I buy chicken on occasion, but we live solely off of the elk or deer meat that we have harvested for the year. So that is our lifestyle, and I am so thankful and so grateful for that opportunity to do so. I don't know what I would do if we had to buy beef in the store. That's a confession right there. That is a homeschool mom confession that has nothing to do with homeschooling. But anyhow, that's the answer to our schedule question. Okay, so question number 3, my homeschool philosophy or method. I don't have a homeschool philosophy or a method. Sometimes things get so complicated, guys, and I noticed this when going through these questions. I'm like, I don't have an answer to that question. I truly don't know. My homeschool philosophy or method. I don't even know that I have a homeschool philosophy. I don't have a method to my homeschooling. We wake up and we do school, and I don't know. I don't think that's an answer to that question, and I'm not gonna look too much into it. I know there's learning styles, and there's Charlotte Mason approach, and there's all these different approaches to homeschooling, which if you do that, that's great. So great. I don't have a homeschool philosophy or method. That could be a bad thing. I don't know. Maybe I should, but I don't have. My method is, if this is even answering the question, we do school. I buy curriculum from a publishing company and we do it. That's our philosophy and our method. We just do our school. So I don't know if that answers that. It probably doesn't qualify. I might be one of the very few who does not have some pinpointed, narrowed down philosophy and method to my homeschool, but I just don't. For the first year ever in almost 7 years of homeschooling, I finally am thinking about writing down some homeschooling goals. And that's, like I said, first year in 7 years of doing this, almost 7 years. So maybe I should have a method, but I just do it. We just do it. Let's see. Okay, question number 4. Is it disruptive? Do I think it's disruptive to a child's learning to change up the teaching style or the curriculum, like halfway through a year, or to constantly change? I think you could spend maybe 10 or 15 minutes around my channel and you will find that I change it up pretty regularly. So no. I think to a certain extent, yeah. I mean, I think that's a yes and no question. I think as the teacher, that's your job to make sure that what you're presenting to your children is what they're needing, that they're actually grasping it, that they're understanding it. That's a question that I can't answer and say, you're doing it wrong, that's disruptive to your child's learning. I can't answer that because I'm not the parent to your child. That's not my place. I personally, as you know, like I said, spend some time around my channel. I have different reviews on so many different products because over the years, almost 7 years, we have changed things up. I don't think it's hurt my children at all. I think my children, if anything, it's helped me learn more about them. I really truly do think that. It's learning more about them and what they like and what's attractive to them and what is definitely something they don't want to mess with. I think it's helped us in many ways. Now, if it was constantly an every week thing, you know, where you're not following any sort of spine or backbone, maybe that could be, you know, harmful to their learning, but I truly don't think so. I think as the parent, that's your job to present the materials to them and to make sure that they're understanding it and to be there to help guide them. And if they're not understanding it, then let's find what works until we find what works and we stick with it. And that's what I'm hoping. I have not had any real issues or struggles so much as I have learned what my children like and what is too much. Homeschooling for me has been a nonstop learning process. There has not been 1 year that there hasn't been a single year that I can say I haven't learned something. Seriously, every single year there's something that I take from our homeschool year, and it helps me reflect on me as a person, as an individual, as a mom, as their teacher, and something that I learn from all of my boys as well. We're constantly changing, and I'm so excited, like I mentioned before, for our upcoming year with Master Books, because that's something new to our home. That's completely new to our homeschool. I've never used Master Books before, and I'm hoping it's going to be the one thing we're going to stick through for the long haul. They have so many good things, and so to answer that question, no, I don't. I think there's a happy medium with it, but I think that's up to the mom to decide, or the dad, you know, whoever's doing the homeschooling. If it's not working with the child, let's swap it out. Let's find something else. Okay, so that answers that question in a long, winding, narrow road there. I'm realizing that I'm not good at answering these questions because I don't have a specific answer. But isn't that life? There's not one, it's not a one size fits all. It's not. So question number 5, how do you make sure you are covering everything? That's another one of those questions, guys. Am I ever capable? Am I, as a mom and a human, capable of covering everything and teaching my child everything there is to know? No, I can't. So, like I said, if I let that question, if I ponder that too long, I'm gonna begin to feel completely incapable of homeschooling in general. And I don't know, that's a rough question. How do I make sure as a homeschooling mom that I am covering everything? I can't. There are ways to ensure that, you know, you've got a solid spine, and I feel like that is not, it's not my job to make sure they're getting everything. Yes, my job is to give them the material, but I feel like when you purchase certain material from a publishing company, that's why I'm purchasing it from them, because I'm trusting that they're going to help teach my children the things that they need to know, and then I'm going to help fill in the gaps with the different things that we might do that they're not going to learn out of a book. I feel like covering everything, that question carries so much magnitude, when in reality it's not. I'm not capable of that. I'm truly not capable of covering everything. So they're gonna get it. They're going to get it. This is what has been pounded into my head by a very dear friend of mine who has older children who are raised now. She homeschooled. She's like, you are stressing so much about the little things when they're gonna get it. My kids are still young, and truly they are, and they're growing so fast, but there's so much weight that we as homeschooling moms put on, I need to make sure I'm getting everything in. I need to make sure I'm covering everything, and they're learning everything. And I need to make sure that they're learning everything that they would be learning in a public school setting. And some of that's true to a certain extent, but take it with a grain of salt. And as their teacher, make sure that what you are presenting to them, that they're grasping and that they're understanding. And if they're not, then let's slow down and let's go back and let's cover it again until they do grasp it and do understand it. And then if you question whether you're getting it all or not, buy a set boxed curriculum. Or there's a Becca if you want that rigorous, intense stuff, but good, solid education as well. There's a Becca. There's My Father's World. There's Sunlight. There's the ACE curriculum. There are so many different things out there you can purchase that are all in one inclusive curriculum, and that'll cover everything, but not everything, if that makes sense. So there again, another question I don't necessarily have an answer to. I feel like sometimes we put too much weight into covering everything, and I have been that. I have been one of them. I'm guilty of that. That's a confession. I'm guilty of stressing that I'm not going to get it all in, that I'm not going to teach them everything, that I'm going to miss something, until I realize that I'm truly not capable by myself to give them everything, to teach them everything. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to present the materials that I've purchased and we've decided on as a family. I'm going to make sure that we're getting lots of hands-on, different extracurricular things, that we're learning all kinds of new things through co-op, and that I'm presenting stuff to them, and eventually they're going to get it. Does that answer my method or my approach to homeschooling? Because that could maybe be both. That's not really it. That's my approach. Sure, let's go with that. Okay, so then question number 6, what coping mechanisms can I share to avoid homeschool stress and burnout? As far as the stress and the burnout, maybe you're doing too much. What I experienced and when I had my worst time with the homeschool stress and the burnout was when we used the Abeka curriculum when my son was in kindergarten, first grade, and second grade, and I followed it all to a T. Every single teacher's manual and guidebook, I was following that to a T. That created so much stress, and I was done. I don't know how we made it through, and I'm still homeschooling to this day because that was miserable. So think about that. Maybe take a step back and look at what you're doing. Are you doing too much? Are you trying to do too much in your home, in your life in general, to where homeschooling has become an incredibly daunting task and you need to make some changes, okay? Maybe look at the curriculum you're using. Maybe it's too advanced. Maybe you need to take a few steps back, like I mentioned before, and walk through those steps with them again. That could create a lot of stress in the homeschool environment if you're trying to do too much, if you are adding on, too much to your child, too much stress and pressure to your child, and that unending rush, chaos, which I'm speaking from myself. This is what I've done and what I've experienced, and that's why it's my confessions. When I am too rushed, when my day's too rushed, it creates an uneasy feeling inside of me, and I push that onto my children. So I have to intentionally plan my days out around our homeschooling schedule and not let anything interfere with that. That is I don't know what you want to call it. That's a weakness of mine, is letting other things creep into our homeschooling time, which, yes, that's the joy in homeschooling and the beauty in homeschooling, is that freedom and that flexibility. But when it's things that could wait until after we're done homeschooling, whole different concept and approach to that. So definitely something I'm guilty of. Keep your homeschooling time undivided. Take a look at what you're doing. Is it too much? Do you need to take a few steps back and help them? Are they not understanding? Is the workload too heavy? Maybe curriculum, change the curriculum up a little bit. Are they being distracted? as far as other siblings. That happens in our home. With multiple children, it's very easy that one will get distracted and frustrated, which causes that stress, which causes school to be a not fun time. So many different aspects you could look at when you're feeling that homeschool stress. As far as burnout, take a break, take a vacation, pray about it, spend some time with Jesus. Let's see. In my opinion, is homeschooling beneficial to all families? I don't know. I think it can be beneficial to all families. Do I think that every family needs to homeschool? No. Do I think it's an awesome, wonderful, amazing blessing and freedom to get to homeschool? Absolutely. Do I think that all families would benefit? I can't answer that. I know our family has benefited from the privilege to get to homeschool, but I don't know that every family would. Every family is different. How awesome it would be if every kid was able to be home with their mom or dad. You know what I mean? In a comfortable, loving, caring, nurturing environment. What an amazing world that would be. But I don't think it's necessarily for everybody. I think there's a benefit to it, yes, but I know there are families, it's not possible for everybody. It's truly not possible for every family and every lifestyle. So that's kind of a hard one to answer too. I don't think that just because we chose to homeschool that everybody has to homeschool. I'm not against public schooling. I just share on my channel our homeschooling journey because this is our life and what we're doing, and I want to encourage other moms in areas where I needed it as well. So there you go. Question number 8. How do I find time for myself as a homeschool parent? I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I go to the gym. That is my time for myself. That's it. Yes, time for myself is important. I love taking hot baths. I love sitting in the bath, listening to music and just being still. I love spending time in the morning listening to Tony Evans on my phone. I love to spend time just reading my Bible. We get together with friends. The kids all hang out and play and us moms visit. There are a lot of different ways that I find time to, let my kids kind of have some time, myself to have some time. We just kind of separate ourselves a little bit for an hour a day or so and just kind of decompress, and then we all come back together. So I don't intentionally, I guess, try and find time for myself. Number 9, what are the greatest challenges of homeschooling? For me, probably the discipline to get it done. That's, as long as I can get up and get it done, we're good, we're golden. It's just a part of our life. So there aren't really that many struggles on a day-to-day basis. It's just taking the time, being intentional, sitting down together and getting our schoolwork done and moving on with the day. And the last and final question, number 10, what advice would I tell a new homeschool mom? There is so much advice I would tell a new homeschool mom. This is just my advice. There's so many challenges that can come with homeschooling and so many different approaches that you can take. You can just spend some time on YouTube and find that. There are so many different moms, so many different styles, learning styles. So many people put so much stock in what is your homeschooling method, what is your type, and trying to fit into a box. Don't try to fit into the box. Learn and grow and educate yourself and research. You research what it is you want to use. There are tons of resources out there, even on YouTube alone. Search homeschool curriculum, search even just in Google. Truly, there are so many resources. Find a co-op, talk to some moms at co-op. I truly think, I wish I would have had a little bit more knowledge when I very first started, that there were so many other curriculums. I didn't have to stick with one solid curriculum. My point in all this is to make sure you do your research and figure things out on your own, and go to a homeschool convention and get encouraged. You're not going to find a place that's more encouraging and more loving and more accepting of your choice to homeschool as a convention. And there are so many resources you can get your hands on, open up, flip through, kind of get that look and feel of different curriculums that there are to offer. So that is my advice. Don't take it too heavy. If your kids are young and little, get the paints out, get the Play-Doh out, get the glitter out, make big messes, have fun. It doesn't have to be all about the books, and it shouldn't be. So that's my advice to a new homeschool mom. Just remember that. Don't be so hard on yourself, and just trust God to carry you in this journey, and that's going to be the end of my video, guys. That's my Homeschool Mom Confessions, but I do want to tell you one more thing. This is a little sneaker that not everyone's going to stick through to get, but I have a really big confession, and it's kind of a big one. So we didn't finish our teaching textbooks math for last year. My oldest still has 10 lessons, so we didn't finish. Oh my goodness, it's the end of the world. No, not really. It's all going to be okay. Does that give you a little bit more insight on my method and my style and my approach and all of the above? I hope so, because I would have died in the past to have never finished a book or a grade year or whatever it might be. I would have died. It would have been the end of the world to me. But I just let it go. I let it go. It's 10 lessons, guys. 10. 10 simple 30-minute lessons. And we're still here. Everything's okay. All is not lost, right? So that's a big mom confession at the end. Let that encourage you. So I hope that's a little bit of encouragement for you too. I'm not saying that that's the way it should be done. I'm just saying that's my confession. We have 10 lessons of my oldest son's math that we never completed for this last year. So there you go. I hope this helps you get a little more familiar with me, with our homeschool, with my life, and I just hope that something in here was encouraging to you. And like I said, I am pretty sure I didn't keep this under, I definitely did not keep this under the 10 minutes that I was supposed to, but I tried. I'm a talker. I feel like I have to explain myself. So anyhow, thank you for joining me, guys. If this is your first time to my channel, my name is Jamie. I am here with Simply Living It. You can connect with me on Instagram. I do have an Instagram account where I'm a little bit more active over there, Simply Living It. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to stick around and see some more curriculum videos. And I've got some fun stuff coming up on how I'm organizing my homeschool room. I don't really have a room, but my homeschool area. So be sure and hit that subscribe button. Stick around if that's stuff that you find encouraging or helpful. And I do hope that you will leave a comment in the comment section down below if any of these questions or answers ring true to you. If you are a homeschool mama like me and don't really have an answer to some of those questions, let me know down below. I love to interact with you guys. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I want to interact with you all and get to know y'all a little bit better. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day.